Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are fine and staying safe and happy. I am your science teacher, Miss Farheen, and I welcome you all to your science class. My dear students, as you know that we are on chapter number 1, characteristics and life processes of living organisms. Today I will deliver its 5th lecture, and the lecture is about characteristics of plants and animals. And today we will discuss about their eating and feeding patterns and reproduction phase. So my dear students, because we are discussing about different characteristics of living things like plants and animals, so आज जो हम उनका characteristic discuss करेंगे वो है उनका eating और feeding, that how they get energy, and next is reproduction. So my dear students, let's quickly recap what we did in the previous lecture. Listen to the questions very carefully and then answer them. So my dear students, here you can see a plant that is just came out of the soil, and you can see different life phases or the growth phases of a chicken. तो प्यारे बच्चों, अब आप मुझे जल्दी से जरा क्वेश्चन को गौर से सुने और फिर आंसर करें. What are noticeable changes in plants and animals growth? जब plants और animals grow करते हैं तो उनके अंदर क्या आपको noticeable change नजर आता है? सबसे पहले their size, their strength, they are weak or strong, they change their color. So these are the different growth phases in plants and animals. So my dear students, now in today's lecture, the students will be able to compare and contrast characteristics that distinguish major groups of living things, plants and animals. And today we will discuss about reproduction and feeding in plants and animals. So my dear students, now let's quickly move forward towards an activity. So here you can see a plant, here you can see an animal. So now quickly think and tell me, from where do plants get their food? Plants do not eat food, they make their own food. So plants अपना खाना खुद बनाते हैं, they do not feed. तो energy लेने के लिए उनको खाना खाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, बल्कि sunlight और water और air की मौजूदगी में they can make their own food. Now, from where do animals get their food? They either eat other plants or they also eat other animals, or animals eat animals or plants both. So this is how they get their energy or get their food. Okay, my dear students, now is the time for Islamic perspective. So, he who eats to satisfaction while his neighbor is hungry is not a moment. So my dear students, एक हदीस के मुताबिक जब हम खाना खाते हैं तो अगर हमारा हमसाया भूखा रहे तो हम जो है वो मोमिन नहीं कहलाएंगे. तो हमें चाहिए कि जब भी हम खाना खाएं, क्योंकि हम फीडिंग के से रिलेटेड आज बात कर रहे हैं, तो खाने से रिलेटेड ये है कि जब भी आप खाना खाएं तो आप देखें कि क्या आपके जो हमसाए हैं उनके घर ये डिश जो है वो आप भेज सकते हैं. तो ज़रूर कोशिश करें कि आप जो भी घर में कुछ पकाएं तो वो ज़रूर साथ वालों से, अपने नेबर्स में भी शेयर करें, क्योंकि इससे मोहब्बत बढ़ती है. So my dear students, now is the time for a pre-reading question. Listen to the question very carefully and then answer. How plants make their food? In the presence of sunlight, air and water, plants make their own food. And what is reproduction? When plants and animals have new plants or animals like their own kind, then it is called reproduction. यानी कि दोबारा से अपनी ही जैसी एक चीज को बनाना, that is called reproduction. So my dear students, the characteristics of living organisms are movement, growth, respiration. Today we will discuss about eating and feeding and reproduction, and sense and respond and excretion these are the characteristics of living things. So my dear students, now let's start the reading. So I request you all to please open page number 7 in your science 4 books. I hope everybody has opened the page. So my dear students, now let's start the reading. So put your fingers where I will read and let's start the reading. Eat and feed. This is the 4th characteristic of plants and animals. The purpose of having food is to obtain energy. Plants prepare their food in leaves using water, sunlight, and carbon dioxide, while animals depend upon plants and other animals for food to fulfill their energy requirement. So my dear students, दोनों को ही plants और animals को खाने की ज़रूरत क्यों है? Because of energy. सो इनका एनर्जी लेने का जो तरीका है वो डिफरेंट है। प्लांट्स जो है वो खाना नहीं खाते एनर्जी लेने के लिए, दे मेक देयर ओन फूड इन देयर लीव्स व्हिच इज कॉल्ड फोटोसिंथेसिस। इनको सूरज की रोशनी चाहिए, पानी चाहिए और हवा चाहिए जिसमें से ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ले लेते हैं और फिर ये अपने ही लीव्स के अंदर अपना खाना खुद ही प्रिपेयर कर लेते हैं which is called photosynthesis, यानी कि इस प्रोसेस को फोटोसिंथेसिस कहा जाता है। Whereas if we talk about animals, तो animals जो है या तो वो दूसरे पौधों को खाते हैं या वो दूसरे जानवरों को खाते हैं, या कुछ जानवर जो हैं वो पौधों को और जानवरों को दोनों को खाते हैं और इस तरीके से वो अपनी एनर्जी लेवल को पूरा करते हैं। और ये एनर्जी जो है ये हमें क्यों चाहिए होती है, प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स को भी क्यों चाहिए होती है? टू परफॉर्म डिफरेंट फंक्शंस, टू ग्रो, टू मूव, to reproduce. So that is why they need energy. So my dear students, next is reproduction. This is the fifth characteristic of plants and animals. Reproduction is a process by which living organisms produce new organisms of their kind. Birds lay eggs that hatch into new baby birds. Animals give birth to baby animals. So my dear students, reproduction एक ऐसा प्रोसेस होता है जिसमें लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स जो है वो अपने जैसे नए ऑर्गेनिजम्स जो हैं उनको बनाते हैं। जैसे कि आप अगर चिकन को देखें, बर्ड्स को देखें तो वो अंडे देते हैं और उनमें से उन्हीं की तरह के जो है वो छोटे छोटे बेबीज निकलते हैं। इसी तरह कुछ एनिमल्स जो हैं वो लाइव बेबीज को बर्थ देते हैं, वो भी उन्हीं की तरह के एनिमल्स होते हैं बट दे आर स्मॉलर इन साइज और विद द टाइम दे ग्रो एंड बिकम एडल्ट। इस प्रोसेस को रिप्रोडक्शन कहा जाता है। प्लांट्स में भी रिप्रोडक्शन होती है, यानी कि दे मेक सीड्स, दे मेक फ्रूट्स जिनके अंदर सीड्स होते हैं और उन सीड्स से जो है वो न्यू प्लांट्स ग्रो करते हैं। So my dear students, eating and feeding, plants prepare their own food to obtain energy and this process is called photosynthesis. This process is done in the leaves of the plant और इनको हवा चाहिए, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड चाहिए उसमें से, सूरज की रोशनी और पानी चाहिए and then they can make their own food to get energy. Now, animals depend on plants and other animals to get their energy or food. या तो ये दूसरे पौधों को खाते हैं या ये गोश्त खाते हैं या दूसरे जानवरों को खाते हैं to get their energy. Next characteristic is reproduction. Either they lay eggs, या तो ये अंडे देते हैं जिनमें से बच्चे निकलते हैं, या ये लाइव बेबीज जो हैं उनको बर्थ देते हैं, जैसे कि बिल्ली, डॉग्स, दे ऑल गिव बर्थ टू लाइव एनिमल्स, इनके एग्स नहीं होते। दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड रिप्रोडक्शन। Okay, my dear students, now is the time for evaluation. So listen to the questions very carefully and then answer them. So how plants make their food? They make their food in their leaves in the presence of sunlight, air and carbon dioxide, and the process is called photosynthesis. How animals fulfill their food requirement? By eating other plants or by eating other animals, they can maintain their or they can get their energy or food. So how animals reproduce? Either by laying eggs or by giving birth to young ones. So these are two other characteristics of plants and animals, reproduction and feeding. So my dear students, now let's move forward towards the practice. For practice, you can download this worksheet from the description box below this video or you can get it in print form by your teacher. First of all, write down your name and your class and then write the name of each characteristic. So this is growth. This is reproduction. This is photosynthesis, or you can also say photosynthesis, because in the presence of water, air and sunlight, the plant is making its food. This is feeding. So these are different characteristics of animals and plants. Next, what is reproduction? Define reproduction. How plants make their food, how animals get food, how animals and birds reproduce. So very easy. These questions are extremely easy. We have just covered them. So what you need to do is pause the video. You can also take help from your book or you can re-watch this part of the video where we have covered these questions, and then resume the video and we will move forward. I hope you have covered the worksheet, submit it to your teacher, and now we will move forward. So my dear students, for homework, question number 1, reproduction, page number 24. So my dear students, question number 1 of exercise C, compare the plants and animals in terms of reproduction. Today you will only do reproduction. ठीक है, plants में कैसे reproduction होती है, animals में कैसे होती है. Plants जो है they make seeds, whereas animals lay eggs or give birth to live ones. So एक तरफ आप plants लिखेंगे, दूसरी तरफ column में आप animals लिखेंगे, बीच में line draw करें, and then this is how you can do the make the difference. So now is the time for wrap up. So my dear students, what have we learned today? Today we have learned that plants make their food to obtain energy by absorbing water and sunlight through leaves. Animals depend upon plants and other animals for food. Birds lay egg to hatch into new babies, and animals give birth to new baby animals or live babies. So my dear students, I hope you have enjoyed today's lecture. आज आपने 2 नई characteristics सीखी हैं plants और animals की, जो के हैं feeding and reproduction. Keep everybody around you safe. Have a good day. Thank you.